Good evening, everybody. Good evening, wherever you are. Yeah, so I'll be speaking in English, and maybe when I get a bit of spiritual, more connected and more protective, then I'll end up probably speaking in nuäri. But for now, I'm going to speak in English. So I'm just going to wait for those who want to hear me, wherever you are. Just alert your friends. Come online, send a message around. I got something for you guys to hear, something deep. I was writing some deep thinking sentences, and then once you finish what you're writing, you can collaborate with AI to polish your English so that you're able to read the sentences. Most of the time when you just speak without writing it, what happened is you could lose certain thought, because speaking is a freestyle. So right now I'll read for you what I wanted you guys to hear, and I've already posted it. A warning to the world, a warning to those who need to hear this. This is how empires of injustice are built, not overnight, not with truth, but with a quiet corrosion. First, they seize control of money, the finances, because whoever controls survivals controls obedience. Do you know how that is? They control the money, and then other people lean and obey. That's typically what President Kiir did. The next step will be, then they dominate the security, not to protect the people, but to protect the power. So they put their key people in key positions, dominate the security, have spies all over. Not for you. You who's sitting at home, you think, okay, the government is for us. The government is not for you, but it's to protect the power. Then the next is, they buy the elites, dress them in titles, feed them privilege, and use them as tools against their own people. The betrayal is intentional, and the damage is permanent. So the elites are given titles. They could post them chiefs, or they could post special envoys, the head of security, or whatever it is. They could give them, they call them the nobles. Give them big titles, give them big check, send them back home, create social divide. Next come the deeper war. Lights come back. Next come the deeper war, the invisible one. Spiritual erosion. Stripping people of identity, pride, and belief in themselves. No, it's taking the belief, stripping them of that identity, snatching away their dreams, not to dream. One of the key things they like to do is they make sure there are no good schools. So they make sure they build poor schools so the kids cannot learn properly, but their children goes to expensive school. Fly them to Nairobi, fly them to Japan, fly them to Kenya, fly them to America, fly them to UK, fly them out. But don't give these kids in the country. Is that noticeable? Billions of dollars came into South Sudan. Since President Kiir became president, has he ever built a school? At least I can say, myself, I built a school, and I am not a president. I built schools that educated 17,000. Not me, I won't take the credit, but it's a collection, it's an idea, because I didn't have the money. I just used my head to combine hand with other people. So, and then economical suffocation, keeping them busy surviving so they never dream of leading. Can you say? Economical suffocation. So basically, now what have they done? They suffocated the economy in South Sudan. Now, if you try to go to the bank, you have money in your bank, you cannot withdraw your money. Like, we wanted to pay people in Juba, and then minimum amount a person can withdraw a day is $10. So if you have 10 million, you cannot withdraw it. You can only go and draw a couple of them. But the elites, the people in power, can withdraw money. But the common man, they're saying like, I don't know how many of you have tried to go to the bank and were not able to withdraw their money. How is it that you can only withdraw $10? Seriously, amount worth $10. So that put us in pressure that I could not pay people who are doing my work in Juba. So we have to send money from abroad to pay them because the banks can't give them the money. How is it that a dude is able to fly all over? How is it that the elites are able to get money out, but the common man can't get money? So it's called economical suffocation. Make the food prices high, make the fuel goes high, so people can't afford bread, so they're on their toe. What do they do next? That's what is called social division. Turning neighbor against neighbor. Yeah, turning neighbors against neighbors. So what's happening now? Brothers against brothers. Nuer against Nuer. Shuluk against Shuluk. Yeah? Nuer against Shuluk. Dinka against Dinka. So there's all confusion. All of this is on in the mix. So social divisions. Everybody's divided. And then the next one is called emotional exhaustion. Normalization. Normalizing hopelessness until resistance feels pointless. Do you know what? Exhausting people. And then there's also the mental, where they try to attack you mentally and destroy you so that your willpower, that you can no longer think beyond a year, beyond a month. You only act on instincts and emotion. That's what we have. These refugee camps, internally displaced. You're exhausting them emotionally. You're destroying them spiritually. You're destroying them physically. You're suffocating them economically. You're making them vulnerable, that they are not able to go out and make their own food. So just imagine. Look at what it's done. So when we're talking about that, we're saying, oh, President Kiir is good. Why is that? Since 2013 up to now, we have people in the refugee camp. Why are we creating more wars right now? So his agenda, he created a divide, prolonging the war. It's all the soft way, saying he wants to protect you. But no, he wants to keep the power so that his children can continue to reign. And when the soul is tired and the mind is broken, physical force become easy. All unnecessary. So basically when we're all exhausted, now they just move in slowly by slowly. They attack what is the strong. They attack what is strong. Not to compete with it, but to humiliate it publicly. To teach the children that early, that greatness is not for them, that leadership belongs elsewhere, that aspiration to the top is a crime of birth. So basically, let me give you an example. They take your strongest, bring it publicly, and humiliate it, so that those in the belly, those who are not yet born, and those who are born to see with their eyes, to never dream that the top leadership is not for them, but is for specific people designed for them. Now that's what that's why they took Dr. Riek in, labeling him and everything, putting him under arrest, knowing there's nothing Dr. Riek has done, you know, so that no Nuer child can ever dream of the top leadership. So that whenever those kids are brave, let me read it again. They attack what is strong, not to compete with it, but to humiliate it publicly, to teach children early that greatness is not for them, that leadership belongs elsewhere, that aspiration to the top is a crime of birth. So for you to dream that you can be on top is a crime from birth. That's what President Kiir is doing. And there's a part they say they buy the elites, they make them nobles, they give them titles, and then use them to divide their own. That's what they have done. So now this message. Now, if you can see what is happening in South Sudan, yes, the Bari are suffering, the Acholi are suffering, the Didinka are suffering, the Kakwa are suffering. Every person in South Sudan is suffering. Even the Dinka themselves are suffering. But most of them, you know, Silence is what they want. People like us, they don't want us to speak. They want to use fear. When fear becomes the police, then you have dominated. So listen, because, let me continue reading. This is not accidental. This is a strategy. Because once people is broken completely, others learn the lesson without being touched. So once you break the people completely, others will learn without being touched. That's why they have to collect them and shut them down. That's why they created what is called Blue House, to take people who are challenging the system. And that is the true evil in itself. That is the true evil. Not the destruction of bodies, but the destruction of belief, the killing of possibility before it's even imagined. So basically, for us to dream, your possibility to aspire to be anything is broken before you could even imagine it. You know, this is what President Kiir is doing. You know what President Kiir has destroyed? He has fooled everybody. He has divided the country. He's divided the Murle against Nuer, the Low against what? But the reality is, the other tribes are not a focus for President Kiir. The main focus, a lot of you out there, they're saying, oh, this is a Nuer problem with the government. You have a government that uses the seal of the state, but behind it, it's a tribal government with an agenda to destroy and dominate and make sure that no other tribe to ever dream that they can be president. So now, if number one is always them, what does that mean? That means they make all the decisions, they make all the laws, they control the policies, they do everything they like, you know? So can you imagine what kind of a country is this? Where MPs are appointed by the president, where the governors are appointed by the president, where whoever lead to become the mayor of the city, the commissioners, everything, the president has a say. Where the money of the state is not in the central bank, but is in the house of the president. So what's it? Control the finances, control the money, so that people become obedient. Do you understand? To become obedient. So whoever have the money, whoever have the food, control the money. Now, let me go to what, that's what I wanted to share with you. But I want to share something even much deeper. You know, in the 80s, you know, when I was a child soldier, some of you will hate me when I say the truth, you know. I was in Itang. During the Itang Makwel Wales was in Itang, you know. I think us were lucky in Panido, at least we had Piendeng, we have Jurkuch, and those guys were really nice. They were fair. So if you had a problem, somebody humiliate you from the bottom, and you meet Piendeng, you meet Jurkuch, at least you have a chance of getting a fair trial. But one thing I saw, one thing I remember. How many remember the Gajak massacre? I remember when I used to go to Itang, when I went to Itang for the first time, the Gajak people were not allowed to get rations on UN. When you discovered you are a Gajak person, you were not allowed. So you'll find the Gajak people are pushed away collecting the stuff on the ground. You know? They're not allowed. You know? And let me share what used to happen too. One of the things that happened during the Gajak massacre, up to now, the fear that has been given to Gajak has gone into their DNA. You know, it has gone to their DNA. I'll give you an example how that fear has gone to their DNA. Do you know this man called Ezekiel Lol? Ezekiel Lol, I met Ezekiel Lol one time, and he told me, see, this kid is very tough. It's like an elephant. It's like a stick. He can hit you anywhere, and you will collapse. It's a very powerful force. So the best way to survive is humble yourself, and we just move down behind and give him praise, massage, and just live like that, and you live. And you know, like, now I understand, because Ezekiel Lol is from Gajak. The Gajak people were massacred so bad. William Nyon, the destruction that he did to Gajak, there's no humiliation beyond anything. Me, I remember during the SPLA time when a Katipa will be sent, you know what they used to do, this SPLA that we're part of? What they used to do to Gajak women? So when they found, these soldiers were released and they find a Gajak man in his house, you know what they used to do? The guy will take your wife and fuck your wife as you watch, and then what do? They tell you, fan me. So as they bang your wife, they ask you to fan you, and they have the gun. And then by the time, if you're lucky, they don't shoot you. But if you show any resistance, they kill you. They used to put a whole family in place, put it inside a lock, drop an RPG bomb. Now the Gajak massacre, nobody ever spoken about it. We only know the 1991 respond, during 1991. That's what most of us know. And the reason why people know about 1991 is because the problem with nuäri, you don't talk about what is happening to you. Now we are on the social media, and we know this government is so evil, and it is planning to do the worst evil, just like Olon said, you know? How many of you remember when General Olon spoke that leave nothing standing? Do you know what? That's the same language that was spoken in SPLA, that when you go to Gajak area, leave no thing standing. So the Gajaks has always been terrorized. And that's why you find the few Gajaks that are still mentally not broken, and not broken spiritually, not broken emotionally, are still standing on their ground. But those who are completely done, they've been broken by fear, are just going behind, but they're stuck behind. And also the elites take advantage of that. So the elites take advantage of that, they're paid off. And they go and create the divide. And then they empower themselves. And they come and show off and destroying their own people. That's what is literally I wanted to share. So now, for you that are listening to this, some of you are saying, oh, Emmanuel, you are like this, Emmanuel, you are like this, you're like that. Look, you can call me whatever you like. But this government has divided us. And President Kiir should even resign. There should not be another peace process that is done that the President Kiir is present. Maybe bring that man called Nial Deng or Lual Deng, Nial Deng, the son of Nial Deng. That's some. If not that, bring maybe Majaga God. Because how many? I don't know what happened to Majaga God. Do you guys know who somebody called Majaga God? That man was amazing in Bongo. I remember when Jeshamer went to Bongo when went to Bongo when we were training. I was in Dharmasara. I came to Fanyito, and Majaga God was very nice to me, and very nice to our group. We were welcomed well, and he gave us the best speech that we'll never forget in our life. And when he was telling you, Jeshamer, you're the seed for this revolution, you're the seed for our country, and each one of you one day is going to be a great person. And you know, he gave us the best treatment. I don't know where Majaga God went to. Where are the true people of SPLA that had the dream of Dr. John Garang to make this country great? Are nowhere to be seen. They have gone. They are nowhere to be seen. Where are they? Right now, you out there who are going to hate me. As I told you, these are the steps that they use. First, control the finances. Control the money. When you control the money, you get the people to be obedient. And the second, you control the security. When you have the security, they put their top people there. But one of the most important, apart from the economical, and then the economy. So when they suffocate the economy, everybody will start running around just to wanting to survive. But the most important key thing here you all have to remember, that a lot of you don't know, is the idea that they have brought and branding the Machar as the evil. They make themselves the victim and make him a villain, and them getting away with it, and they are the one who are destroying the country. Why couldn't they invest that money in making peace? No, they don't have. They don't have the heart. The heart is full of evil. They just want to keep the power. The security is not for you. The security is to protect the power. When they secure the power, they pass it on to their children. And now, maybe some of you knows who are elites, who are the nobles. People don't speak the truth because they're just after the money they have, they feed it to their family and they bow down to the leader. But for me, I think I'm lucky because my finances don't come from care. You know, I went to Juba a couple of times, did my own concert, lost money, lots of money. Every time I try to go to South Sudan and do something good, I end up losing so much money, then I have to go back on tour and try to make money. I come back again. So I'm one of the lucky people because my finances don't come from them. My finances come from people who love my music and they pay for the ticket and I come. Not most South Sudanese listen to my music, but that's not I don't worry about that because most prophets are never accepted at home anyway. They're accepted elsewhere first, and then the people come and claim them back at home. So now I'm going to switch to a language. I've delivered my message to the world. I'm going to talk back now directly to my people that are getting segregated and getting planned to be destroyed by this government. Naidinal, minde larienta de. Unitema lenymat. Telma lenymat. Telma lenyo, te did magwa macheling. Micha kida kang jay jay. Shawe sham jay sile way. Sham jay sile way. Wood pan la jela kel kaneka. And she entered real machiben. Real machiben. Low Tony. Ta cha mut gwaz kamadian adeng. Nen boma chikane jaga. A charodian mat kel and yen chala mat. God chill me jelga kel, Lienge rodian. Kon unni kui bentia when we can ya conda capin. God gaka, and can God gaka lead ken to Shakula ko. Share a tooth car me a wanaka Kenya. When negotiation new led. And can it surely lead by mo yoro go. Be a nekunu duckapin, be a dorun be a duck. No wall and tooth kajan kuja chunkel bang ave ne Tony. Kuja, kulu kui here. Ella dongma John Garang it is in there a tooth cow, there a goy tooth cow kulangai, like him kiram a goy tooth cow kuja. Nanny and tooth cow, but use it. Welcome to the January lair. No, you're no Dorian Kudana Wale, Banebangaf. Songan Balaria. Chuja Banalo Palo Bacanyua. David Mualo Waka or Daffin. Wouldn't know about a young darling you buy a cup and you buy loom. Buy loom no share. No share. And Jendelari. And Jendelari and Daddy. Guama Tiatino. Maling rider. Matika like a winemy. Knocker with you. Mati guama with your knocker with you, nana. Lakin Lord you. A jalas. Jishim. Me love nay God, me latane. Me tenere jalavni. Con la joko ko, kachang dermo we awara, a yen Muslim ni. Ngan choda, nicknamed Chalnga Mohammed Jal. Ngan garmator lawa su bang yojin ngan Mohammed Jal. Te murder motor Chal Abdallah. Baruja lao ni ba nyua. Lakin, koloi ko ngay ne lam ne Christian. Enyen turn nan. Mar Chala Fatam. Anti ni ko dial kuloi ran tane ke shod Muslim ni ke changdar. Enken. Kenyen turn nan tadi. Matira in tongo. Mate guama ji la kam rodo mal be jo baba kuorde ma parji. Lakin raru na mate ma ya kam ji mo guama ti na be top ken job be kam ne ku. negotiation bita peace mo wa un lel ka jenta ba gwalong ba gwana ka ngwa time is gonna come in Juba mo bine la jalla biran jalla tara ci bi jall ka dwal rona me anyen rona ci ko da kam kon ne de na zamane ya kam cham je bi nya ka ce to zaman cham je ni to ka go mo wona met and no go nente na cause mo we want to the ka bible ne di cher ka kon we mon ke lew ana god Israel ko la ta ka go mo jal ka jaka ka ko la ta ka go to ji kai ni lakin ka ta ka go mo go thoni be will ka history ni no kon no wala la always la ta karama ya ja ko mo bi kon kam do mo bi te ko kon and zaman me ci ko da muna ramal lingan ta de ko ngi yene ne ko no shoot gwa titin we mona chu jala woni jin ka social media ali bi no good news bi jedi ko ngi jene kon chaka gafin economically tel ramate real ko le char me real ala liel ma jeyre nora tel ramate raran ta mudi jongana ta ke millions neti kon te ke million ni kanedi kon na ke president Kir nedi kon da ka chieng elite cha ko ka yo gadila mo la to mo gang we dien mo no ne ken tele yo te ka je ko cha we di control the finances so you can control the obedience and you ya ga covenant binedi kon los ke bol biringtin baro campaign binedi kon chamjie tinti de mal koko de ne ken lor dol bi maringtin bawo se ngen chalen until for example la wurin shawala pool jang may lojo rur ka chanka lan wala yen chem bintu nan che control bintu nan mi che decide wala pool jang che ngena che mat ke che mare bintu me yo control ngi lielo mo wan we lal ne peace agreement nyone ke kume ka wire lo ko tonga chana riala ka pana tonga negotiation der lagul ko liel dan I wanna podloj nan chamai content min kume me chiro je che diet kon che ka kam kunya ka yo kon ramo ko shondu ka dundu ba nangaran dundu be ndanga de ne be ku lo nyo ko je pimni de mor ga dundu kan dundu be unanga nyo en liel binti onan ta ngi guro be nanga self be kam jam ka podlo historical mo wona wal cha cholo podlo agwada la jel die ne kon won ba ko potin bina pal ano so dor kon dial ba kamai gorko ba kon rul ba kon kwen ka refugee camp ni bana la ngai lakin min go kul dan janatin jin malinga la ganas mo goro kiro ba kon los mo goro kiro at this time chana bi nyomeni go no bana jalkel bana raikel and zamana me mutike social media were lad wuju kom te one thing mo goro bala rebia ling medan la wona ka Washington abina wona ka White House la nei campaign te ur ka waye jo kondora chuna tamane ngai mi chalar nga ur ka waye nga jo jino mate ka matwo dorun macha jot macha ngach matile nei terwat kaling ne te ka deed tanaka ka Brazil and can chaka billing ka White House ka chaka ling everywhere deed tini they are going extinct you to contact ka ba ka allocate to deed attorney so ontari ga nora tia we mon ke lew tia everywhere amu deru dwal jikati ka America ngude dwal jikati America kwa tia tina malar ka kire sharma ya la rawo linyene ne are nora til ma ba palchong jine la de yan ma tad ma ya monye yo yenwa Dwal ko ba la jang modom lakin baran mu yu ba jo wala de min bana la raka. Share me yaka linka mi shwala clubhouse the other day ka plan to go ko ba la rain wara. So ngan be la de gan mari. Ngan te ken number me ko wona mo. Number mo kanete kon ti sharu je ti sharu yan pin te larka ne kona ka ngan la yora ka ko lat ka kenyen emergency ni motene to shoot konta de gano baro dan prepare konta de kama ki yuan na ngai ti dial dong ba le konti gano baro dan prepare bana yo kon reala ka bana ne kon la moine 8 ta ba gang rotien enjen de la rienta so kon ma shanka nyine emergency ka nenen ye wi mono bala ba boma ko ngan na mu na rotien tax jin ma mizi na chiang ka tirar ma mizi na chiang ka tirar ka chi yor rai ko jama shud no ra ma tin ka tel ma tobi a jin cham je tel sera ma par ga jin cham je ha cho nga nyo churo nyo ben ka social media ma ngai ya jin ga no ra ma te ka ma shama ka nyan no ra ma doru ma te ka kon mizi throughout ka biwa matik ma jin nyal biro ru yen ka krimi bi to ku lele dungo abro yen nango atika you to be afford and to cheng no diri 100 shilling ka $2 rir ka woye because of ka crisis tema lenji jara mo dal dor parian ko ram to loje ma jet loje to baje ram ci loje jet e chamje ram ci dier ka chiema ni ba e chamje na lar ka e kang je jina cham je hinan wokor e cham je hinan minen ne ka shujke ka nguda maruda ka nguda ba to thanken ka ben be yo be broi kela na te kela na wala ne me je ka ne shujna son tadi chuja bia ga ka ga ja ke 1984 cha ka na no medi de kume spele cha ka dwai and dwai ya dwai ke SPLA njene ni ya ka rol bunni bar dirje ga ja ba pa dana betom na tama ba nyo pat libe o ba ora dik tila dik ne di ko la wa ka ora nga jang ne ngani ka ga jo to lo kula jen ka na serbi nganya ngudi ra gan maro pat ka tane tin bi jen ba gan mani ken or nen to ngoken this time gorno bina bana jalkel peace without power is useless. Lakini mwana wala block matana ter kele nene mu naaw nene ba malu sanchere kore jidid shwalo yit chang bi wo yit nyur kel kane selpa alal na mal bala mal matema dom wi garama sheru barar ka se jeni wa lal kamal em juba bana teke 30,000 soldiers tekel ka juba gwinya na rodien nene bina gwinya rodien ngan chiang ran kor cha kor nok lakin gao ne biran roda gam bible nan chana met tamam hama yai pa da pun tang mena ante mu wi ka gambe lo wan na wuni lwa ko te pal ga ko chana doro ko ne kon te wal te kon go na ken bi ne lai mi di dol chai charu am dol te ka yu biran benen American borodo kwen manda wal goro be kanang ko dol de kon chika la nyon chaka dor chika lat ko ma chai ju mentally chai ju emotionally ka chai ju spiritually ba jalong ka wa nyo joy financially ko le ma chala nor ma cha podo ko gol ni dial podin dini ya kam kono ko the one of the biggest pod chakon kambom koina dual long na kor lakin tel ay we take chamje ke take boy ke take nega te lot ke bol ka take door ke as I finish this sentence te ba message ma tod ba kam gare gambele yen gare gambele chu ja bia run nyo gwe na me ga ja ke na me lam na kel yen ne do kel ramena la lo ye me ye ja still a different no jin gaja ke jin gawar ke jin question ke jin ranaser me je me changayen jin no jitamam chaypal so mo gorna mal ko we bagwa gwano bana jalkel kon todi a kon nong na confusion nong kon kodi chana kir come right direction so the biggest need kon destroy in todi kir ka je kon to kon la work a proposal lo kam kir ba jo kir jina wure mu wingo kama lini dara wonene ke mu wingo moy $500,000 nene wure moy wuda me wure ba kam jibila no kwara ba moy be ju mu wingo reven nene be wure pen after ma bana mobilize ba ka nonji so je kon kana dodwal kon Canadian con lost ke bol and can non proposal ni and can cha way danda and can cha kir confused completely bi jetan gon ba bi jen kir don gor mal lakin ba nyo non proposal original nor di alti noka ne jiken lakin te ku joy enta to joy ko kuma o tanane kon tere to nokeno kona bana la kwan forever so sana gwe ngan tade tangai ko tung nora ta te ngame a shetani nan chia dwai ponda ko changa ya re junub la wangan fanan dial kirge lakin ngan pen ngaf kir weida wey me dawde yor juba mo tatine te tan kunda ke kon wotin juba mo taka kurki wan taka kurti tu o konte la yel ka jalabo wono ne me chine jen ka me jene ko ma chaine njinor loy kana damane 91 me chi SPL yero dakare o kon dai hat Peter John Garang la wona shala bugo diutal ga la tene ka SPL psychologically guarde kuimi nganta kuimi mine je ka front line de guarna ko tem chola chala bugo diutal ga we bought the vision. Lakini now our minds are open. China ila na ito goal. So nganenta la na message. Maling rider antadi. Te kora machunke la kon. Except us. Kana kot engay shondan. Lakin kot la chunge. Karama bum. Ma jinyon kot che chunke la kaji. Ma wana bomo rodan mat. BNN pause beben. Kwele go impose konte kon la wina na chang kot moine kwa ta gang ne ro da kan kwa ka don ja nong na fi kulu yom la deal ke ne ke ba cover deng ba ka dolona ba ka de ba cover deng ba ka dolona ba ka de deng che ka de kon and I'm one message mo dia ngai ko chunga ke la kon ko do we mon ke le dob dia cha ka ga ka yo ka yo nga ka yo kon yo de je ka kon anta jibelete nuero dandi to to millionaire tang ne ti riang ka ku juno lakin me de larto out of 2000 jang ti riang to millionaire ka yo dollar ni te je doran dong di je no nuor ke dong ba ka kwenji nuor ti riang de wena me tut kaw probably the joy zika lol tabania yoga to a movement there is going broke and ta ku kam no other thing anga ma dong wadi aranga mo millionaire mo ngai ma ngwen twel is broke now ti yoga to anga ma dong mo ngai out of 2000 total years to malia dan ku ai char no mo ano ma dor ge dor ko kon so ngan good night. Tethana and Tayanga report right now because social media is advocating for war. I'm not advocating for war. I'm just telling the things how it is. The system is broken. The president has divided us. He has no vision. There's no vision that I can see myself in. There's no aligned purpose that we could all see ourselves with. And so all of us has been beaten to be fair. And if no one can protect me, who else? My family will protect me, because the president cannot give us protection. And the president is interested in people who are willing to kill their own people so that they keep him in power. So if I decide today to say I'm willing to kill my people for him, then I'll be praised that Jal is amazing. Anyone, like right now, if someone go on social media and say, okay, this was done to me in my village, I will not insult that person, because it is their truth. They're speaking their truth of something happened to them in their village. You know, this president killed 60 people from my family in 2013 to 2014. 60 people from my family. But nobody talk about it, because the media shut that down. So what do you expect me? Yeah. So the question also go back to all of you who are silenced. Your silence of not speaking out it means you're supporting Kir, and you're worse than those who are committing atrocities. Pieces.